here we have a Xbox Series S that was dropped down the stairs. Now, I already diagnosed this console in front of the customer so that he could see what needs to be done, and he ended up saying to just keep the console and then he was going to go get a new one. They had a holiday deal at Walmart for Xbox Series S for $239. So let's go through what's wrong with this thing. First of all, the case is very bashed up. I already straightened up a lot of the plastic to try to get it to fit it together, but in order for this to be suitable for a customer, it needs a whole replacement case. This back piece came off and the studs that hold onto it broke off inside and they were rattling around. Luckily, there were no components rattling around, it was just the plastic. So let's go ahead and get this apart so you can see what exactly is going on here. Now, this side Wi-Fi board, or whatever this thing is, it does have damage to it. It doesn't look to be interfering with any grounding or traces. However, this is something that I would want to replace if prepping this for a customer, because the bend to the board just is not healthy. Alright, so let's go ahead and open up the console itself. But before we open up, actually, you can definitely see every port needs to be replaced. HDMI needs to be replaced. Both these USBs need to be replaced, and this front one definitely needs to be replaced. Now, I could not find the USB ports, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this one on, take the other two off. Reason being, I need that one USB port to be able to plug in the controller to control the console, or to at least pair the controller. Now, I don't actually know that this port will work. I need to inspect it from the inside to see if this damaged port will actually function. Alright, so I did plug this in to test it. It does turn on, so luckily there is no damage to the PSU and there's no damage to major components of the motherboard. However, what I am skeptical of is the ports themselves. Now, obviously the ports themselves need to be replaced, but what I'm concerned about is the traces. For example, this USB port, it's so crooked that the traces might be damaged and I won't know until I get it off. So let's go ahead and get this motherboard out. First I put flux on all the joints, now I'm applying removal alloy. I'm just going to apply removal alloy to all the ports. So right here I thought maybe I could take it off with just the removal alloy and my soldering iron, but I couldn't do that. I had to bring out the hot air station. I'm going to wick up the excess solder from the holes. Now I'm applying low melt solder to the pins of the HDMI port because I don't want the traces to tear. Take it off with the hot air station, then wick up the excess solder. And then I gotta go through and I gotta clean all the ports that I took off. Alright, so now I'm going to wick up the traces for the HDMI port, make sure they're nice and clean. Right here, what I'm doing is testing the pins that the traces had torn off of to make sure that they're all ground. They did all turn out to be ground, so there's no issues there. I'm not concerned at all. Now I'm going through and just single pin soldering the pins on using my micro pencil. Now I just gotta anchor on the legs. Lick up the spillage of the solder and then clean everything up. Now I'm just cleaning off the thermal paste. So I didn't get any picture here, so I had to go back and check the soldering job, and I found these 2 pins were bridged. So that's something I should have checked before, but I went ahead and fixed that, and here we are to test again. There we go. Alright, so what I'm going to do with this is put it back together. I do have access to one of these panels, but I don't care to get that unless I'm able to get everything I need. I don't have access to the USB ports. I don't have access to the shells, and these shells are at least 40 bucks. I'm not gonna buy that. So what I'm going to do for now is to use this as a test module to help fix other Xbox Series S's, just like the Xbox Series X that I have. It's helped me fix several machines. Alright, this is as put together as I can get it. 2 missing USB ports, 1 damaged USB port, no back panel. But what I'm going to do is just to use this to compare to other Xbox Series S's to get them fixed. At least until I can get the parts that I need.